We're here at IT Mod Talks with Dr. Gil Alterovitz, Director of the National Artificial Intelligence Institute, VA Responsible AI Official, and Council Co-Chair. So let's get right into it. Where has your agency made the most notable progress in AI over the past year?
Well, great. First, thanks for having us here. It's great to be here at this special venue. And now when we think about progress over the past year, we're really setting the foundations now for the future. So we had recently come up with our VA AI strategy and have been working on implementation of that. At the same time, there are other foundational pieces that are being laid out throughout the federal government. The White House Bill of Rights, AI Bill of Rights has come out, which can help in shaping and ensuring that we have trustworthy AI. There's a continuing of an executive order, 13960, on trustworthy AI within the federal government. And most recently, another executive order, 14091, on advancing equity. And it has a piece on advancing equity in AI. So we are now creating this trustworthy AI framework that incorporates these and a number of other actual frameworks to ensure that we have trustworthy AI within the VA. That is one of our accomplishments this year, and we're doing that in a way that we can capture AI use cases across the VA. We will be publicizing those outside, and then using that to leverage those use cases to understand how we can develop further and move forward within the AI space.
So can you give us a little bit of background on the Institute?
Yeah, the National Artificial Intelligence Institute at the VA was set up around 2019, right around Veterans Day. And its goal was to build that AI capacity, particularly and specifically being able to leverage R&D and other technologies to improve the lives of veterans, their caregivers, and families and those around them. Our goal was to really, and has been, to ensure that we can develop AI within the VA in a way that promotes trustworthy AI, right? You want to make sure that for AI to be adopted, it's very important for it to be trusted first. That's how AI can make a difference, by being adopted, right? And to be adopted, you need trust. So we've really focused some of the initial efforts around building trustworthy AI, both policies, systems, pilots, and language within contracting to make sure that those principles, which are embedded in different frameworks that we are putting together, are all embedded in the actual projects that we do.
Perfect. What's one example of how AI has made a difference in helping your agency's employees work more productively?
Yeah, well, actually, there's a number of areas. It's really exciting to see. You know, we've been here just a couple years now, really, but and have grown quickly. And yet, there are a few projects that really kind of stick out as making a difference. We have a project, Aspire, which is basically an all services personnel institutional readiness engine. It's really all about getting the veterans to essentially develop new skills, understand where they can move in terms of having new types of jobs going forward, given the skills that they do have, and developing a career training path that will help them move forward. So that's going to be very helpful as we look to have new data scientists, especially, right, to be able to have people have paths to get to that, right, from where they are. We've seen everyone from pharmacists to, you know, obviously sort of computer scientists go into data science, right, and they do that through sometimes their own training or other approaches. And Aspire is one way that we're thinking can do that in a more automatic way, rather than having each individual one have to look through and many different channels to find out their individual path. Another thing that we have that's already making a difference, the AI tech sprints. So we've had a number of these, and some of them have been so successful where we have these 3-month engagements around a theme of interest to veterans. Some of them, like I was saying, have been so successful that essentially they've led to, after the award ceremony was over, they continued and they led to contracts and cooperative research and development agreements and other mechanisms that have a much longer time, and then it can actually lead to products being used within the VA. And so seeing that difference right there. There's, there's just a number of different ones that I've seen over the years. Just to close, there's another one, the Digital Command Center, looking at using AI and other approaches to understand efficiency within the field, to know when beds may be available, when certain resources are constrained, giving you the kind of that dashboard view so you can make decisions. At the same time, being able to integrate, because of the way the technology is developed, AI R&D modules so you can test out new approaches.
2 and 1.
So can you explain to me exactly what Aspire is and tell me if it applies only to the VA?
Yeah, it's a good question. So Aspire really, when you think about it, it is essentially a computer adaptive approach, right? Imagine that you are trying to learn a skill, or we're trying to understand what skills you've learned. What you can do is have a computer ask questions and then adaptively ask questions for you so that it can figure out your skill level in an adaptive way, right? So that's what's kind of one of the pieces that's unique, is it can create a customized trajectory toward your career education based on that adaptive test, right? The other thing is, as you mentioned, does it only apply to the VA? Well, we found by interest of others, that the answer is no. We thought, and we have been leveraging in the VA, but we were approached by, there are now a total of 6 agency partners across many different environments. So we're not only talking about like defense, we're talking about health agencies and the Department of Labor, and so it's all across the gamut, and we're all hearing the same thing. They want to have the same kind of platform for their needs. They have the same issues where it's like they want to be able to customize plans for career trajectories for their employees. And so this is now being developed as a team. The VA has taken on spearheading a few of these AI tech sprints and a few things like that. We just had some results at the National Press Club with some of the winners of that, which has accelerated our development plan by about 10 months. And now we're seeing interest by agencies and also higher up within the administration as well.